So in this video, I'm going to talk about pre-calls. This is for closers specifically. If you've got a call on your calendar, you want to be doing what's called a pre-call, to where as soon as that person books in your calendar, you're immediately picking up the phone, giving them a call and confirming that appointment. When I did this as a closer, it massively increased my show up rate by about 20%. And I saw about 10 to 15, sometimes 20% as well, increases in my close rate as well. Not only when I was a closer, when I was a sales manager, I saw reps see a pretty good increase in their close rates when they did their pre-calls as closers. They saw increased show rates, increased close rates, all that good stuff, mainly because they had a break of the ice. They got to break the ice with that person, with that prospect, before the conversation actually happened. And that way it wasn't like, hey, I'm speaking to this random person for the first time and now they're asking me for $5, $10, $20, $100,000 to buy this product or service. It's like, hey, I've spoken to this person before. We had a bit of a conversation. I know what to expect. This makes sense. It's, again, there's a familiarity there that wouldn't be there otherwise, that makes them a little bit more comfortable to move forward in the process. That's not to say that you can't close without pre-calls. I've also closed without doing pre-calls, especially when I would split test this stuff. But there just was an increase in trust, increase in close rates, increase in, people feeling like this was more of a genuine conversation rather than a quick pressure moment in this first interaction that you've ever had with them. And the way you want these pre-calls to look, really, really simple, 5 minutes, sometimes less. Sometimes people want to ask more questions, do a little bit more in depth, but you can make it very, very quick and just essentially confirm the time, confirm the link. Usually the conversation is on Zoom, Google Meet. Make sure they have the link. I can't tell you how many times people had the wrong time zone issues, whatever. People had the wrong link. People also thought that the conversation could be had while they were driving, while they were walking around, while they weren't fully attentive. So you want to just confirm these little details, that they're going to be sitting down, they're going to be available, they're going to be focused, they're going to, be at the right time, place. Everything is good to go there. And then tell them what to expect on the call. One thing that's really good, if there's some kind of like pre-form that they filled out where they talk a little bit about their problem or a little bit about why they're booking, you can talk a little bit about that. Maybe ask them one question about it. Let them know that they're going to learn all about that on the call, that you're going to be able to help them about that on the call. They're going to set a good game plan when it comes to that on the call. That would be really, really good. I usually would walk them through and say that, hey, we're going to give you some more info on what they're looking for help with. I'm going to let them know that they're going to have the opportunity to ask any questions they have. And then at the end of the call, we're going to come up with a solid game plan for what to do next. And whether it's working together, whether it's not, we're going to at least have you have clarity on what it is that you should be doing. That way they have some true, real value, something to look forward to on the call. Make sure they come prepared with questions. Let them know that. Let them know that that's okay. Tell them, hey, all of your questions will be answered. Come ready. I'm ready to help. I'm ready to clear anything up. Just, let's rock and roll tomorrow or later today, whenever that call actually is. And then you want to have a link that you can send them to that gives them more info on your company. Ideally, that link has a little section where it talks about how you help. This part is super, super huge. Usually the way I would set it up is just a simple landing page that has a bunch of testimonials and case studies and a high level kind of how you actually help. So for example, one company that I was sales manager for, it was essentially just talking about, because, we were helping people with their marketing and their sales and everything like that. So it was pretty much just saying, that's what we help with. We help with marketing, funnel creation, help with, creating offers. We help with, increasing close rates and those kinds of things. And it kind of just detailed that a little bit without going into too much of the weeds. And then it had a bunch of case studies, a bunch of testimonials, a bunch of people telling their stories about how we can help, not just like shout out posts of like, hey, you guys are so great, but it was mainly people talking and, kind of mini 5 minutes or mini interviews of people telling their story. And then I make sure that they open that up on the call so they actually can read it, go through it, and come to the call with a little bit of excitement, come to the call with questions, come to the call already having an idea for how we help. That way, again, they're not hearing about it for the first time and are like, oh, I need to think about this. This is a new strategy. I never really thought about this. Okay, let's get into this. I want them to already be as much sold on the vehicle as possible, especially if there's no appointment setter that's doing a lot of that selling on the vehicle. I want them to be as much sold on the vehicle as possible for the conversation. So all I'm doing is gaining their trust that we are the ones to walk them through that vehicle, not having to sell both the vehicle and the trust in the company to walk them through it, right? That makes the sale a lot easier. And the way I would kind of get them to open the link is I would text them a link and I would say, hey, I just sent you over a link. Do you see it? You never want to give them too much and be like, hey, I sent you a link. It's got everything about us. Go ahead and open that when we get off the call, go through it. And then, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. That's just too much information at once. They're usually just going to be like, yeah, okay, cool, and not actually open it. But if you break it down and you walk them step by step, chances of them actually opening the link, going through it, looking at the content goes up. So what I'll do is I'll text them the link and I'll say, hey, I just sent you a link. Do you see it? And then they'll look at their phone and be like, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. Then I'll be like, okay, cool. Can you click it? I just want to make sure it works. That best line ever, always works. They click the link and they go, yeah, it opens. It's I got the page. I think it says like how we help. Like, cool. Scroll through, it works. Cool. Go through that. That's going to talk about, like it says, exactly how we help. And instead of saying it's got testimonials and case studies, I'll say it's got examples of the people we've helped and people we've worked with in the past. That is going to make them want to watch it way more. Because if you just say, hey, look at our page, it's got all our testimonials. Hey, if you look at page, it's got our case studies. People are like, yeah, okay, it's just everyone shouting your praises. But if you say, hey, this is examples of people we've worked with in the past or how we've helped people in the past, people are like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll definitely go through that. And every time I've done that, we've come to the call the next day, 2 days later, and they're like, yeah, I went through it, I looked at the videos, and it, again, like I said at the beginning, helped a ton, increased close rates, increased show rates. So if you're a closer, make sure you're doing pre-calls. And make sure that, obviously within reason, that you are doing these pre-calls as close as possible to the time they booked in. Not the time they booked in for, but the time they booked in. So for example, if someone books in with you right now and that calls for tomorrow, you should call them right now within the first 5 minutes that they actually booked in, as long as you're obviously not on another call or it's not in the middle of the night or something like that, right? As long, if you're available, it's within your working hours, you're not on a call, you should call and do those pre-calls. Hope that helps. See you guys in the next video.